I recently visited a Nazi camp in Auschwitz-Birkenau. I assume everybody knows the story of the camp. And I also realized that when I was walking through the buildings over there, when I was looking at the chimney, at the gas chamber, a lot of emotions evolved inside of me. And they were not the pretty emotions. I felt angry, frustrated, and I was leaving the camp asking myself a question: how come that 70-some years ago this tragedy was happening and the whole world was just watching it? Everybody knew that it was in existence. There are buildings that you can actually see from the inside of Auschwitz that have windows. People from those windows could see the camp. There were spy cameras flying already, taking pictures. And nobody did anything to help those millions of human beings who died over there. I was leaving the camp frustrated. Almost the same emotions I have when I listen to the current events going on in the world. When I hear about the immigration crisis, when I hear about black on black killings, about pointless discussions of whose lives matter more, blue or black, yellow or red, white or purple, pointless discussions. I get frustrated when I see gangbangers killing innocent teenagers in front of my church in Chicago, or in my back alley because somebody was just standing there. How come that we are all watching it and we are not doing anything to stop it? This is exactly the same situation that happened 70 years ago in Auschwitz. Everybody was watching. Everybody had an opinion on it. And nobody did anything to stop it. Today's gospel has a beautiful title of a story of a good Samaritan. Wonderful. I'll give a credit to the person who called it that way, okay? But also, when I heard the story, I was very judgmental. First of all, I wanted to judge that naive man who would walk down the street with his goods all by himself, knowing damn well that he's going to be robbed. I want to judge the priest who passes by and does nothing because his religious point of view or whatever was put on him did not allow him to touch the person. I judged the Levite because of the laws he had to follow. And then finally this neutral Samaritan, a man of a good heart who does anything and everything in his power to help the man that he didn't even know. I'm frustrated because the situation repeats itself over and over in our lives. When we hear about those pointless killings, when we hear about judgment on whose life is more worth, whose life is less worth, when I hear about dedication of our police officers, and I hear about the lives of the 16-year-old who have no perspectives for future, I am frustrated. But also I have a hope. Event like that, simple Polish picnic, gives me hope. You know, the story of Poland is about 1,050 years long. So today we're not only celebrating the best beer in the world, the best Polish sausage in the world, kapusta, pierogi, I don't know what else, good-looking Polish guys and girls. This is not what we are celebrating. We are celebrating 1,050 years of people who, when something happened, they were willing to go and sacrifice. When something happens nowadays, they're willing to go and do something. Also, it's wonderful that this picnic is happening in this church. This is the place where we open our doors wide. This is the place where we invite everybody to our table without worrying that they're going to stain the table, that there's going to be a blood on our table, that there's going to be somebody stinky at our table. This is what we are famous for. We're going to have to delete that one. We don't care about what religion tells us to do, or religious people who tell us what to do. We just do it because it's right. We do follow state and federal laws, I'll give you that. But we don't follow no opinions about what people say about us. We just do it because it's right. It's right to see the person that's bleeding on the street. It's right to see a poor person on the street. It's right to see a black neighborhoods one block this way. They're abandoned. But it's also a right thing to do something, not to be opinionated, not to take sides. We're good at taking sides. We're good in judgments. But it's time to do something. It's time for Tom, because I have to start from Tom, to do something. It's time for Teresa to start to do something. It's time for Heather, Odie, all of you, Zbyszek, Henrik. It's time to start doing something. And we are great at it. If your last name ends with ski, you're good at it. If you come here, by now you know you have a power to do something. You have a power to recognize a neighbor in another person. Amen.